If you did that.
You liar!
I appreciate it, Zoe, but Curix, I don't think that's what Punk meant by down under.
Dude, if we're gonna get into some dive, let's get into some dive. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's what I'm expecting here from this match. I gotta be honest, I gotta take these off. These are so dusty. I don't swim ever. But yeah, this is kind of the expectation that I have coming in here, because that was something that we loved seeing from Mayhem. Also, we do have to kind of touch on this subject. It is the elephant in the room. Jen made that
no,
up.
that was definitely your goggles. It was the elephant in the room.
No, Lemon made up all that information that she just went through before. That is all lies and slander. No one's gonna believe that.
I don't know. Jen's pretty convincing. I like Lemon Kiwi.
He paid you off.
Just don't check my PayPal. That's all I'll say. All right, first up, Nepal. Florida Mayhem versus Timeless. How do you think this one's going down?
Well, I mean, like we talked about, Mayhem is a very good dive team. Why get away from the dive? That's something that they've obviously had a tremendous amount of success with. Now, of course, with the new additions for this roster and everything that they've surrounded someone with, clearly a very tank, centered team. They've had a tremendous amount of success with that. Now, also on the other side, Timeless, I think a lot of people may not be aware of this because of what we've seen from them so far in this tournament. But when you go back and look at qualifiers and even further back into Kuffa's history especially, this is a team that does like to play the dive. So while they have played a lot more Ramatra, well, historically, they have been more of a dive-focused team. I don't see them playing that, especially in a mirror against Mayhem, who obviously also will probably go ahead with the Ramatra setup for this one here. It is Village. Pretty much need to play this here. It's this or Ryan.
Yep, going in with the rush. Bringing a Bastion along for what it looks like. Florida Mayhem, I'm curious to see what their second DPS is. See in a minute.
That's something to look out for as well, because with the Bastion, you have the ability to just absolutely key up that tempo. Like we've talked about before, throw up that Nemesis, just speed in and just rip a tank apart. And that is something that we could see here happen for Timeless in their favor if someone isn't careful about timing with this block.
Yeah, Wub's already forced out an ice block, so Timeless get to play more aggressive, and the Mayhem might be able to now, but it's Timeless on the back foot. Kuffa under duress. Oh my god, the health bar is low. Oh, he almost got out. Almost. Horseshoes and hand grenades kind of thing, though. His health bar did hit 0 eventually.
Just like that, Mayhem come out ahead this time around. Of course, Wub could put out as much pressure as he wants to, but someone very capable and willing to accept that pressure. Rupeldus doing a great job as well of stabilizing that tank. Remember, Mayhem do like to put those resources towards someone. That is something that they have done so far already in this tournament and look to continue to do as well.
Pressure up now from Timeless, trying to take that high ground. The point has just gone over to Florida Mayhem, so remember, the percentage is ticking up for them. Nemesis form thrown out by both Ram. The Amplification Matrix out first for Timeless. Can they capitalize? The health bars are low on Mayhem's side, but they flipped this one on its head with a Matrix of their own. Merit, RuPaul, Checkmate, and the like, all getting in on the action.
That's 2 in a row here as well. Mayhem establishing some early momentum. Now they're going to build up those ultimates as well, because they are pretty handily winning these engagements, and that's huge, because off of that one neutral fight where Mayhem were able to contest Wub's Bastion, and now you see that swap as well, of course, with Wub, who has already swapped over to the Cassidy. I mean, now they have high ground control, they're going to have ultimates, they're going to have great utility, great positioning. What more could you ask for in this situation?
You can. I mean, it's a dream come true. Santa is giving them everything they want for this not-so-Christmas, and now they can just wait. I mean, they can sit here and vibe, throw down a Blizzard. Should be able to capitalize on this as well. A Sound Bear. Okay, you know what? We're getting into too much territory right now for Mayhem, but you know what? Timeless are investing as well, so it's probably worth it. With Kuffa down, they should be able to clean up the rest of this fight. And on top of that, the ult bank of Timeless.
Yeah, I mean, so much of this is going to be timing here, because Mayhem are forcing this to get up near 85-90% before Timeless are even going to have a shot at getting over to the objective, where they have to play the point, which means Mayhem now have a great way of being able to take this next fight, where they're going to be able to use their amplification matrix. They're going to have the ability to match as well Merit's ultimate to Wub, whereas Timeless, they have to play someone on point here. It's a mandatory requirement.
Oh, Doom down first as well from Merit. A great trade. Wub's managed to kill himself with a magnetic grenade. That's not going to bode any better for Timeless. I mean, here it's a good thing you brought the goggles because Timeless are in deep Florida water right about now.
We know a little bit something about that. Sometimes I forget that we're
both from
duo.
Florida. Yeah, that is weird. That maybe not a good
And now
thing.
we're both
What?
removed and right next to the Justice. How did that happen?
I don't know, but you just owned being from Florida on like an OWL broadcast, which I can't escape that now. You can't escape that now.
I've already done it for the Mayhem Classic. It's out
All right.
there. People want to find it, they will. Nonetheless, though, Timeless here, looking for a way back in. You see kind of that fuel composition coming back in, right? You know, talking about Wub on the Sojourn, Doomed, bringing out the Reaper. This is really good into other Winston dive teams. It's a, I mean, solid composition specifically for this use case. Let's see how Mayhem can handle it. They had no problem dealing with the Bastion earlier. Let's see how they contend with this new threat.
Yeah, I mean, amongst Reapers, Doomed is particularly dangerous. Not for Merit, though. Takes down Cal. It's a one-for-one trade, though. More DPS is available for Timeless. The longer this fight goes, the more they're going to be feeling that lack of healing. Dive in for Florida is available. Someone's just waiting for his teammates to coordinate with him. Can they find it? Oh, it's very passive play from Florida. Look at this. Neither team willing to fully engage on the other. Now is Timeless stepping forward.
Yeah, Timeless looking to try to establish this flank control, and Merit actually pushing Wub back, but doing a good job of making sure not to overextend here. That gives them another opportunity to take this fight, in spite of the fact that Mayhem do have point control now, and also a stick out, but it's just not going to solidify a kill at all.
Nice Suzu, and they get the follow-up onto Doom. I mean, Checkmate would not let that guy go. And with that, Timeless, yeah, they got to call it. They're not going to allow more percentage to just go while they stagger out a long fight. Uh-oh, we're overheating. We're overheating, Florida. Get back, get back. We were cooking at first, and we have burnt the food.
All right, Mayhem fall back. They're getting back to the point, but they're going to need to buy some time here. Someone on the return, but still, few ultimates here for Mayhem to help sustain. It's going to be Merit stepping up and actually taking up the mantle of tank for the time being, but someone is back now.
It's a lot of damage. Kappa's dive, I think, fell on deaf ears, to say the least. Didn't really connect onto the backline of Mayhem, so yeah. Merit is a significantly more dangerous target, and without a main tank, Timeless have nothing to really rally behind while Merit runs at them.
I think running at them is something that Timeless now is going to have to pivot and try to do themselves. They have the Kitsune Rush. They're going to have to use that speed to get them forward and into Mayhem's faces. And I think one thing that they have to do is start applying some pressure to the aspects of the Mayhem composition and roster that they haven't been able to touch really at all.
Kitsune Rush out, starting things for Timeless. Deadeye is a reload for Merit. Just picks up another right click to throw into the face of someone who pops a Primal Rage in response. Has made a lot of space, but the kills haven't come through yet. First one's from Wub. Timeless have not been great at following up on their initial damage, though, yet. They do got to be able to finish out these fights, and even that looks dicey in the face of RuPaul, who gives them an anti-nade to the face. Stick onto Wub, Suzu'd away. Mayhem desperately trying to fight their way back into this one, just refusing to give the point over, and maybe they can. They're now bolstered back up in members.
Oh, someone taking some pressure, but they might have offered up just enough.
Oh
Take
my
down Kappa. They're gonna be able to take this.
I mean, it looks like it. I mean, this fight has been so tight, on a knife's edge. But Mayhem, yeah, they solidify it. 99-0, 2-0 should be the score for the first map here. Timeless, scrappy as they've ever been, are going to continue to contest this point, and it looks like they've got 4 on here, but can they coordinate the dive here, Herix?
It might come down to this nano boost here. They could throw it out onto someone. Instead, it's going to be Merit, but no one from Timeless can step up into the point, and just like that, you've got a Mayhem win on that first map. That's a good attempt. I think that's a good, set for establishing momentum early, obviously, but clearly in a setup where we see those dives actually coming back out. Once again, Mayhem establishing some dominance in that capacity. That's something that they're going to be looking to do, I think, in a lot of their matches, proving to every opponent that they go up against that if you play dive into us, we will play it better.
And I think we saw that ability to match and also confidence yesterday. The big thing that I saw out of this as well, along with just being able to match that dive composition pretty much no matter what, is how they were playing it every single time. Their dive was just consistently better. Their confidence and their ability to keep Merit up as well, just getting so much value.
So a big first win here for the Mayhem. They take 2-0, but do have map number 2 coming on the other side of this break. See you there.
And we're back. It's currently 1-0. Timeless are struggling to navigate those rough Florida waters right about now, but they look to steady the ship as we head into Kings Row.
Kings Row, what a map to go to as well. I mean, this was the staple throughout the NA qualifier. So many teams love to go to this map, and it should be no surprise that we are going to be going back to it, as of course Timeless was a team that came out of NA qualifier. So diving into this one, I think when you talk about navigating, when you talk about steadying the ship, this is something that I do still have a little bit of concern for Timeless, because
Agreed.
Obviously with Kings Row, you know, some would say that it is kind of like that Reinhardt map, but we see a lot less of that now. And certainly with these two teams, I would expect more of things like Ramattra, Winston, that kind of thing. And when we look at especially the Winston head-to-head, it seems like Mayhem are just playing it a little bit more cohesively.
Yeah, but did you see what Wub did yesterday, though? Did you see what Wub did yesterday?
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, that's my counter-argument.
That's fair. That's a fair counter argument. We do like to see what Wub was, accomplishing yesterday. I think with Timeless, obviously some level of reliance on Wub, but there obviously is a ton of talent still, surrounding this team as well. Doomed, aka Doomed Godoa back in the day as well. I mean, clearly a ton of talent there that we haven't seen as much noise about, going into this tournament so far. I'm hoping to see him really step up and provide that performance that will help to rally Timeless, because they really need it right now against a team that certainly I think Mayhem are one of the top dogs right now in this tournament as it stands currently.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Timeless is a team that can do that. They've got some of the highest highs and some of the, like I said, the lowest lows when you get him. When Wub gets going, he gets going. Kuffa is like inconsistency in a bottle, but when Kuffa pops off, it's insane. Look, when he's got the incredible performances, it's there. He can outplay the likes of someone, but like, it's inconsistent, I think, at times. And someone is a beacon of consistency if there ever was one, right? Like, when you think of just tank style, that really is him. But all this team has the potential to have that pop off, and that's what makes playing up against Timeless so scary. Immediately, Kuffa shows someone why. Just beats him down. There actually was zero resistance put up by the Winston there.
Yeah, obviously a major amount of investment towards trying to protect someone. You see Chorong and Rupal both on Ana and Kiriko respectively. You just have so much that you can throw into your Winston to try to protect him, and it just still wasn't enough. And I think part of that obviously is due to the fact that Timeless, they have that ability to just say, okay, we're going to take control of tempo, and this time around it's going to be flipped. Mayhem, it's their turn.
They got there just in time. They still have to contest with the high ground, which is not actually easy to do, because you have to keep a member on the point. Looks like Timeless are trying to like inch it over and get it done, but high ground now belongs to Mayhem. That was in the nick of time.
98.1%. They were actually at 98%.
You know what? I'm thinking
one more 10.
We didn't need time less there. We needed time more. We certainly needed time more.
Just maybe 1.9% time more.
Yeah.
2:40 on the clock here, so Timeless still have plenty of time to get that last tick now as it goes back down to 66%. But Mayhem, they're going to be on the lookout for what we saw from Timeless earlier, which was a lot of aggression and be able to find that early pick already. And this is something that we did see as well from map 1, right? We saw Mayhem getting a lot of these early picks that helped to kind of set the tone in the fights and allow them breathing room away from Timeless.
Yeah, it's a bummer for him, but they reset that player. Gotta give credit to Chorong, though. This is a great anti-nade to shut down the rotation of Timeless. Now it's their turn, though, for a first pick. Chorong down means, this is basically null and void. Someone can't jump out. This is something we see in Kuffa do often. It's one of the big reasons why playing the Winston into the Ramattra is a lot harder than playing it into the Reinhardt, right? You see the field go down, and you just can't jump out as Winston. You're just stuck there, and you just get pummeled over and over again, and you're kind of sad about it. And I think that's all he is. He's just sad about it, man. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's a massive amount of reliance in this composition when protecting someone from something like Annihilation and Kuffa just pressing forward and having that Nemesis available. And that's just the reliance on the supports to be able to be there and have their ultimates, thrown in, or even just the Suzu to be thrown in so someone can react. Unfortunately, just it wasn't there. Wub did what he needed to do.
Got in quick. Now it's someone, though, doing what he needs to do. Immortality Field's been forced out. Yeah, this fight looks pretty done. Mayhem find a first pick and maintain the momentum quite well. Something we've seen Timeless struggle to do.
And Mayhem going to be able to get control once again. But now in this section of the map, I'm curious to see how Mayhem wants to play this, because obviously with Merit on this Hanzo and Checkmate, of course, on the Tracer, I'm curious to see how they want to establish some of the control of the, you could say, flanks, side lanes. I mean, they're going to actually just cut Timeless in half instead.
Oh, that pulse bomb's nice, too. Dragon's out either way. I mean, a whole host of ultimates have been chucked out, but it is only Pink in the kill feed. Mayhem have figured out exactly how they want to play this. Someone not going down nearly as quickly, taking the brunt of that force much more effectively.
Yeah, and on top of that, Timeless also tried to react with a lot of their ultimates as well. I think the big thing here is that Timeless are going to have their sound barrier. It's obviously a very effective ult, especially with their composition, but Mayhem can kite away from that. They have speed. They're going to be able to, of course, have the Kitsune rush, and that's where that speed is going to come from.
Neptune's the one under a lot of pressure. Someone has just burned him down, using that high ground to drop onto the likes of Timeless right when they want to hit that engagement. and nothing found again. Mayhem, they got the download, bro. Like, it's looking a lot worse right now for Timeless than it was a minute and a half ago, you know? The adaptability from Florida has been great.
Well, silver lining, I mean, Kuffa's close to that annihilation. That is something that should help. And on top of that, Neptune, well, if he could live long enough to pull it out, does, of course, have the Sound Bear as well. It's just not going to be this time around.
Someone's just taking it, man. He sees the Ravenous Vortex go down, and I think he's learned his lesson from trying to jump away from it. Now he's not wasting the cooldown. He's taking the damage and being on his way.
The other thing, too, here is that the way that these last two fights have gone, even though that last fight was expensive, or that 2 fights ago was expensive, Mayhem, they've built up all these options. Now they can invest again.
And as they invest, Kuffa's sleeping, making it that much more powerful. He's going to throw in the Ramattra ultimate, but Annihilation here, is it enough? I don't think it is. Yeah, certainly not. Just gets stuck easily by Checkmate. And you look at how that fight started. Again, I'm looking at Chorong, who's hit a couple really key abilities in this game. Hits the sleep on Kuffa. That gives him the time to find the pick onto Wub. And then Timeless are always just trying to claw themselves back.
I love this composition, too, because it just has so many great options to answer what Timeless is going to be throwing at them. Obviously, it's, you know, high-tempo aggression. Don't give time for Wub. Mayhem also have defensive options to protect someone. Maybe not enough to protect Merit, though.
Yeah, it seems like the positioning there for Mayhem was a little bit off. Nobody was there. Merit a touch too far forward, and now trying to back up and recoup their losses. Mayhem have actually gotten away with only losing 1 player. A redive is attempted, but it's not particularly well timed by Mayhem. Someone in Checkmate just not quite able to find the same wavelength there.
Timeless can move forward, at least for the time being, but don't have too much time to play with. There's a similar situation that they were in back on point A, but now moving so far away from their respawn, this is kind of the last-ditch effort that they're going to have here with 25 seconds remaining, and Mayhem are draining that time down before they take their engage. They've
both got the same ultimates coming in. It's that KR that you're looking at, though. Comes out from RuPaul first. Cal looking for an opportunity to use it, but he can't find it before Kuffa gets burnt down. Dragon out earlier as well from Mayhem. Proactivity is the name of the game, and Mayhem are winning it. A hold at point B emphatically shuts down Timeless.
And just like that, too, Timeless are exactly that. Out of time. Whew. That car is going to stop exactly where it sits. No check from Neptune. But nonetheless, we'll see Mayhem go onto the defense here. And I do want to talk to you about something, Dor, because we did hear yesterday.
Is this like a sit down, I'm in trouble kind of talk?
No,
or is this
We're good. We're
okay.
Good. We're going to have a little discussion, you and I, friend to friend.
Okay.
That someone brought up that one of the big things that we, see here today is a major improvement on his comms. He talked about that was a big thing that he was working on, which I found interesting because I believe it must be a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point, there was a mock tryout that someone took, part of that, I mean, he was incredible from his comms, massive value to every team that he was brought into. But I mean, if they're even better, makes sense why Mayhem looks this good.
They look good. I mean, let's take a look back at some of the plays they had, because, dude, they seemed unstoppable through pretty much every avenue of value. It's the picks from Merit. It's someone space making. Chorong sleeps and antis. I mean, won at least 2 to 3 fights in their own right. And it's picks like that, plays like that from Merit that are really making him an effective DPS to peel for Chorong as well, who's been dangerous on both the Cassidy and the Hanzo.
And I think one thing that really stands out to me is the fact that Wub, Doom, Kuffa, Cal, Neptune are not.
Is this real? I think it's real. Is it? No, okay, it's bait. They had the Mercy. I was like, yeah, maybe. Into Hanzo, maybe. Like, it's not awful.
So, Timeless back on that same composition here. Looking for that tempo, but I mean, I'm still looking to see how Mayhem are going to play that into their favor. They know the timings for Kuffa. They're going to have to rely on them, so if they can pull that Nemesis early or find some kind of pick, then that's going to make the fight all the more easy for them.
Ooh, so well, a headshot onto someone, buys some space and time while he resets the health bar. Yeah, I was going to say, can they find a flank or use this time to get value? Nah, Timeless just don't quite recognize the opportunity. RuPaul, how did he get here? What on earth? They've got nowhere to move their pack like sardines, which is quite apt, considering the oceanic relation of Florida. Can they actually reach for sure, but I mean, it's still an apt description. They have made no space since being dropped on. They're still surrounded. Timeless are being constricted out of this fight. Chuffa, I think, is trying to fight his way back into this one by pushing forward with the Nemesis form, but all he's done is leave his backline more vulnerable.
Yeah, fantastically played there by Mayhem. Just getting someone behind, setting up with Rupel, just kind of teleporting from one side to the other, flipping the map a little bit, at least to a degree where they had Timeless completely surrounded. There was no safe place for Timeless to retreat, and Mayhem could just kind of poke and prod away until Timeless were cracked and fell to the wayside, and that's going to continue to happen here. I mean, obviously momentum squarely in favor of Mayhem right now, and they're going to take as much as they can get from Timeless, which is to say a tremendous amount. I mean, you look at Mayhem coming away from that first fight, and yes, it took a little bit of time to get that set up, but it was successful, and now they have every ult.
Is he a Primal? This man's if he gets away with this, it will be the greatest bout of thievery, bamboozling, theft, and the like that I might have ever seen. He got out. He just popped that That is such a... And then what goes... What? How is this working? This isn't supposed to... Mayhem, you can't do this. This is the extended spawn camp, bro. They camped them all the way from B spawn to C spawn, and the cart's still moving. They're in this 45, throwing in ultimates, because they just don't care. Mayhem are better. They believe it. They know it, and they're going to show it to Timeless.
I think we need to really, put a spotlight on the fact that they didn't just win that fight. They didn't just spawn camp a whole point ahead of where they're at, but they did it 4v5. Chorong has been on the payload the whole time. He hasn't even been fighting.
Oh God, there's no touch. There's no touch. That is a foot in the mouth of Timeless. That is an egg on their head. That is the Florida Mayhem showing them who the Overwatch League team is. And I think we're getting that status quo flip from yesterday. We had some variants. We had the contenders teams coming out on top. But today we see why these teams are Overwatch League, because that coordination is just unmatched.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot left on the table, of course, for a lot of these contenders teams that we're still expecting to see. A lot of the teams that we actually are already seeing. Certainly don't count them out just yet. But, of course, Mayhem, just fantastic throughout this series, and clearly deserving of the win.
That they are, in one man more than the others by just a smidgen. We've got Checkmate, our player of the match, and I think it's well deserved. Going toe-to-toe with the likes of the entirety of Timeless, harassing the flank non-stop. The Mei was incredible here. I mean, really no misses.
That play right there, I mean, the coordination between Someone and Checkmate, you see that, that vortex come out from Someone, Checkmate landing the Blizzard on top of them, has the wall as well. Just incredible job between those two. And I think that actually is a big reason why I think Checkmate stands out in this series, because of not just what he's capable of on his own, but the fact that we can see him connect with his tank, and that level of synergy is proving to be something that other teams are just, struggling to keep up with.
It's real nice. I mean, just check the stats, man. This dude is making a farm of contenders players right about now, and it has looked so good on virtually every pick too. Like the Tracer's been highlight, but seeing somebody come out and be able to make those plays on the Mei as well speaks to that coordination like you were talking about. When you think about people who are star hit scan players who have that Tracer, you don't think of having the Mei or things like that, but it's showing you what someone was talking about, what Checkmate's doing right now. That coordination is improving a ton for the Mayhem, and it's why they're one of the top dogs.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to continue to be exactly that, because look, this is a team that Mayhem, they're going to continue to keep playing these dive compositions or Winston rush compositions, whatever you want to call them. The nature of the fact that someone is someone to contest with and not someone that you want to in a lobby is definitely going to be a continuing thing, I think, a theme throughout this tournament. And even for teams that we expect to be very, very strong, like Reign as an example, as we did see those two teams already clash, I still think that this could be a very, very, dynamic matchup between those two teams who have already proven to be really strong right now.
Yeah, it's been a battle all the way through, but look, we have not seen the contenders run the same way we did yesterday. They're going to have to capture a little bit of that magic heading further on into the weekend. But for now, it's going to be the desk to break it down.
Second day, and we're here now to close it all out. second day of our first ever Overwatch League Pro-Am. So I am as excited as can be to once more get Danny and Jen in for this one. Let's go. Let's break down the action. Quite frankly, the last one, bit of a one-sided affair there. Mayhem showing the dominance that we really expected heading into this match, though.
Zero death checkmate, though.
I know.
For real.
He's like Lip. He's like Lip.
He's
Yeah,
like
it's like the
for
pink lip.
real. And then you got people pushing the cart, AFK, acting like OG out here, just tweeting from the cart. That's a Contender's joke. I don't know if anyone's gonna get that. But I wasn't expecting it to be that one-sided. Like, spawn camping to Narnia, crazy stuff.
I do love that they not, you know, stepping off the gas. I do not like when top teams are playing with their food. If you want,
Like playing
no,
down
I
to
feel like if
the
you're
opponent,
dominant, then be dominant. I think it's while it is sometimes rather entertaining, I do not always like it when they start like kind of trolling and rolling out. It's a little disrespectful, you know.
It's
You
like
gotta
nature
put
healing,
respect.
though. When you got like Florida
Yeah.
on top, and now Atlanta on top, Shocker 0-2, Dallas aren't even here. Like, is this nature? Is Overwatch healing?
Yes, that's yes. Let's go with yes. Yeah, no, but I mean, this was happening in this very match. So let's take a look at a specific play. This one coming out from Checkmate, who just decided to not die there because why would you?
He's crazy.
Oh,
He's
this-
up and above.
Yeah.
Like, they're just trying to go to the point. They wall him off, which is so gross. They get a crack in the wall, immortality, and a bunch of ultimates come out. Like, Neptune's barrier and the immortality from Cal is what salvages this moment. But I just thought, out of all the blizzards we saw today, this is one of my favorites by Checkmate. A lot of the blizzards today just whiffed, like barely froze anybody. And the way that Checkmate just trapped them in, because it does take time for someone to get frozen, obviously. And Checkmate just found the perfect moment to let it rain on him.
I mean, that must feel so nice when you put the wall so perfectly, and then you're like, oh, I got them all, and then now I could just blizzard and just kill them all. That must feel really good.
Yeah, no, this is. I could watch this all evening long, honestly. It's pretty satisfying to see both those walls pop up and then the blizzard and just everything goes according to the plan.
It also shows us
You
the
love to
potential
see
of
it.
Florida's rush, because I honestly felt like last season someone was too aggressive. I know we love throwing out the aggressive word as something like a compliment, but someone was almost too much of that, and I didn't really like Florida's rush last season. They were the masters of dive, and that's where their identity was around. And for them to pull out the Ramatra and look this good around Checkmate, like their coordination, and I think that's why you retained someone in Checkmate. They were some of the smartest and really just well-coordinated players of Florida last season, and if this is their potential on rush, like obviously they've done so much work on the off season. They've made the changes to the roster for all of these pieces to fit together much better, and I think the sky's the limit for Florida. If they're already this good at dive and now their rush can start to match that, like Florida are going to be a scary team this year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And while I actually disagree, I do love and loved to see the aggression coming out from someone. He just didn't really have the same amount of support to back it up. You know?
That's
So
true.
it kind of felt like it was disconnected and they were not on the same page. But this time around, it's a strong roster. If you have DPS putting out numbers like we see Checkmate on screen right now, I think they really mesh well. There's a lot of synergy and they are on the same page. So I want to see a lot more of that. Amazing plays all throughout today. So let's take a look at today's result. Actually, no, we have results later. First things first, we do want to talk to the legend you just saw on your screen, and that is Checkmate. So Danny, please take it away.
Thank you, Zoe. All right, we got Checkmate on the line. Checkmate, can you hear me? Checkmate 선수 들리시나요? 인사 한번 해주세요.
네. 안녕하세요. 플로리다 mayhem 체크메이트입니다.
All right, Checkmate says, "Hi, hello everybody. My name is Checkmate from Florida Mayhem." All right, this match was very quick, and you guys seem very dominant. What was your game plan, or I guess how did you prepare for this match coming into today against Timeless? 자, 오늘 경기 어떻게 보면 굉장히 빠르게 승리를 거두신 것 같습니다. 굉장히 좋은 모습으로 경기를 끝마치셨는데요. 체크메이트 선수 오늘 경기 타임레스와의 경기 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
그냥 평소 준비하던 대로 심플하게 준비했습니다. 네.
잠시 한 번만 죄송해요. 잘 못 들어서 평소 하는 대로
그냥 심플하게 평소 하던 대로 준비했어요.
All right. I mean, we didn't do anything special for this matchup against Timeless. It was just as usual. It was simple. We just played as how we would always play against any other opponent. I mean, you guys are looking good right now. The Florida Mayhem are definitely one of the top teams in the Pro-Am right now. Checkmate, do you have a personal goal for this tournament? I mean, I'm pretty sure as a team, you guys are aiming for the top spot to win it all. But for you, you know, just as an individual, do you have a personal goal? 자, 두 번째 질문은 당연히 팀적으로 플로리다 메이햄 선수로서는 이 우승이 목표겠지만은 체크메이트 선수의 좀 개인적인 목표가 있다면 이번 프로엠 토너먼트에서 뭐가 있을까요?
개인적인 목표는 작년에 제가 실수를 좀 많이 했거든요, 대회에서. 그래서 아마 스크림에서 나오지 않았던 실수들 그런 걸로 줄이면서 개인 실력을 향상시키는 그런 게 될 것 같습니다.
All right, so I guess talking about my personal goal, I would have to say last year, during our matches, all the matches that I've played, I feel like I made a lot of silly mistakes. Mistakes that I didn't really make in the scrims. So I want to focus that for this tournament and for this season. I want to make less mistakes, improve on my personal skills, and just overall get better as a player. All right, that is it for the interview. Checkmate, thank you so much for your time. And again, big congratulations on the win today. 자, 이걸로 인터뷰 마치겠습니다. 시간 내주셔서 너무 감사드리고 체크메이트 선수 다음에 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you
So
so
polite.
much, Checkmate. I know, right? Unlike Danny,
What?
that
What did I
shot
do?
was out of nowhere. Nothing
Yeah.
actually. I just wanted to
roast him.
fire one. there was zero reason for this.
Just catches straight.
I'm
That
sorry.
wasn't that straight. That was a direct hit. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's all right. I give you some time to heal by looking at the schedule, which I jumped the
Okay.
gun on. But now for realsies, we're gonna look at results. It was a one-sided affair all across the board.
Overwatch.
Not one of the contenders teams managed to come out on top of this one, Jen.
To Overwatch. Yeah,
To
I'm
Overwatch!
sad. Oh yeah, Timeless didn't win. We gave him a cookie there. There we go. Sorry, y'all. But hey, good day of matches. Rain, I mean, getting that much closer to just qualifying out of groups. I think they're one win away. And I think there were some highlights. You know, Valiant didn't look that bad. The Titans majorly turned around from yesterday. Trick Room were on a I thought they were on a high from yesterday. Now we're not sure if they're getting out of groups. I thought if you could beat the Shock, you could beat the Titans. My math isn't mathing. I guess Titans are better than this Shock. I don't know. But what a wild day.
What a wild day indeed. And yeah, Rain, as you said, just one victory away. If you are having 4 victories in your group, then you are pretty much guaranteed. With 3 victories, there is still a tie scenario. I think with 3 losses, you're out though. But I don't want to. Don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong
like a
because
baseball
math.
No, we're gonna call
What
it
is
strikes
math?
you out.
So he said it. So he
Yeah,
said
pretty
it.
much. I don't know. I did
Shock
not
was
say
looking
that.
at you.
I kind of said it. Well, you know, it gets dangerous. Like they do have to
Yeah.
like turn it up now. And Krusty did make that promise. I will hold him to it. Did say Shock have a slow start usually, but everything will be good after that. So we'll see that. After 2 days of action, it is time to ask our desk now what their headlines are. Danny, what's coming on the front page for you after today?
I mean, it's gotta be Atlanta Reign just decimating
Caw-caw.
every single opponent. Atlanta dominance. Caw-caw!
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
That was a good. That was a great
yeah.
caw.
Yeah. The Phoenix cries caw-caw. Yes. I mean, but yeah.
It's more of a hawk cry, I guess. But
Hawk cry?
the hawk
I mean,
is a
Hawk
phoenix
is the best
now.
bird. Yeah, it is.
It's the
I
best
mean,
bird in the
Figured
bird.
it out.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, Atlanta Reign, they're just too good right now. It kind of feels like they're cheating because everything, they could play so many different comps. They look good on every single one of them. And they're just so stacked and they look so coordinated. They're honestly like the best team right now in the Pro-Am.
Yeah,
agree.
I like the fact
concur.
that they were not overhyped. Like I love when it's for once Scrimbox and everything actually stayed true. You know, I feel like they have a championship winning roster on hand.
Now, what about that lip pre-MVP, Danny? Still believing?
What? I mean, he did say, you know, Costa was the only person that was right, so everyone else was wrong. So, you know, I'm not
Actually,
going down alone.
Reinforce also posted on social media, I think, today that he thinks that
he did?
Lip
He thinks
is
Lip
a
is-
strong contender for the MVP.
Well, he did that
Just like,
today. He's a day late. He should have done it yesterday.
He
when we
always
all
does
did
that though.
It's always
Another
late.
shot fired.
it. Yeah. Now he can't fight us back.
He can't
'cause
even
he's,
defend.
you
Yeah, he can't even defend himself. That's where we at. Anyway, Jen, what's got you hyped up for a headline today?
You know, everyone says the league lacks spice, and we've got it. We've got it in the Pro-Am. We've got trash talk galore. Gameplay, nah. Let me type up in match chat, okay? Contenders, they set the example yesterday, especially with Trick Room and some of the other stuff we saw today. But even the Owl dudes are getting into it. Lip writing 0-0 when they were rolling kids today.
Yep.
It was hilarious. And, you know, some actual bullying happening. If it wasn't with words, it was with fists. My feed
With
froze. I'm not
hands.
sure. Oh, here we go. We even got some evidence. Rich Rad, my man's got the receipts. When Pummy was losing, he gave a compliment to Vancouver, but then also kind of caught a stray. Gave a stray over to Shock, saying Vancouver was better than the Shock because Trick Room were losing to Vancouver, but then beat the Shock. You guys do the math.
Yeah.
And then Hottie was bullying people, throwing them into the highway and stuff. So, yeah, I love the
Yeah,
trash
That's
talk.
it.
I
Yeah.
remember YouTube channel was also saying that too. Vancouver is better than Shock. A lot of people were saying that. in
We all
YouTube
say
chat as
it.
well.
It's right. It's echo
It is
chamber.
right. I mean, as of right now, it is. You know.
Yeah, we have no reason to believe otherwise, for sure. Let's let's move on. A lot was happening, and we're only 2 days in. It's time though to see the plays that really made us go ooh, nah, and all the other noises that Leg Day sometimes makes during his cast. So let's take a look at the best plays of the day, starting with a real goodie here.
This one, we are pro bullying on this
Yes!
desk. Toss him
This
in.
was so good.
Liar's trying his best.
Ah,
It's amazing. And then there's also the, shout out to also bullying CJ and not letting him jump off the map on Kings Row. That was gonna be my second
too.
favorite. But people getting hit by cars, that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
That was
And the
great
timing is
juggle.
impeccable.
Body too. Yeah.
look, the car's just coming. Like it's like he knew.
He knew. He was like, oh, am I gonna? Liar's like,
There we
am I
go.
gonna die?
Hit it
I'm not
back.
gonna die. And he was, and yeah,
Flawless.
Hottie just said no. You're gonna have anti-synergy with the car.
Anti-synergy.
That was definitely anti-synergy right there with the
I
traffic.
think Matt said that. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you don't want to run into traffic. Turns out that is a big
Usually.
anti-synergy move.
Usually.
Now, another play that we wanted to take a look at again was a glorious 4K Farah barrage. Pharmacy, in what situation is this comp actually advisable to bust out in the current meta, Lemon?
When everything else sucks, you gotta go to the skies. I felt especially sugar-free. I mean, this is strong on Icebreaker because of that middle roof. Pharah, the usage of it is very map dependent. Do you have access to roofs, covers, corners, anything like King's Row where you're just out in the open or narrow spaces, you don't want to do it. Beautiful 4K by Sugar-Free. Doing Yazan proud over in Tier 2, especially with the nano boost. That's gonna be a great nano target. But I think against kind of the double flanker and then Pummy having to go to Cassidy is what sparked this idea by Sugar-Free and just punishing Pummy. And you thought, oh, Pummy's on Cassidy, therefore he is the counter. Nah, not if he's dead, he's not. Sugar-Free put all the focus on Pummy. Yeah, so I love seeing Sugar-Free on that.
I was kind of worried when they pulled out the Pharah Mercy. I was like, oh, is this gonna work? Because the map they're fighting right now, like the point that they were fighting is pretty open space. I was like, oh, he's gonna get sniped down. And yeah, like you said, Sugar-Free. He was just too good. He was like, I'm not gonna die. I'll just kill everyone before I die.
And it shows Sugar Free's flexibility too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he used to be actually known as a really good Echo player back in Tier 2 and really someone who could truly play anything. And that's why Sugar Free was looking like the six-figure kid coming into Overwatch League, was that being a flex DPS in contenders is so difficult. You just don't have the time or really just the skill set to play that many heroes. And Sugar Free truly was that flex god. And the way that he just pulls out Pharah out of his pocket, like, I don't remember the last time I've seen Sugar Free play Pharah. And then he pulls off our play of the day like that. Like, he's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, getting a 4K with Pharah, that you deserve a medal if you make it to the end of the voice line whenever you pull a barrage. So, yeah, big plays coming out here from Sugar Free. We love to see it. And those are your plays of the day. And I'm sure there is a lot more where those were coming from. Those treasures are coming at us tomorrow. Let's take a look at the schedule. These are the matches for day number 3. Which of these gets you all excited, Danny?
For me, it has to be the San Francisco Shock versus Timeless. They're both 0-2, and this match is going to be an important match for both of them. And for Shock, yeah, I'll be shocked if they lose again, because
that'll
be yikes.
That'd be a bit of a yikes, indeed.
Contenders teams, it's panic mode. The fires are going to erupt in the back room. I'm excited personally for the Saints and London. Like, London faced, Atlanta, didn't look so good. Then they won today. They're back on top. Saints also had this middling performance, and it's like, can Saints overcome the top 6 or like the 6th, 8th place team of London Spitfire? That's going to be the match I think is going to be the closest. And of course, it's at the end of the day, so that means you guys got to watch the whole show.
That's right. I hope for some close matches tomorrow. 2 Overwatch is fun. It's an early night, but I want to see more. I want to see more than that. But today it was all around domination. Who knows what tomorrow's matches might bring. So make sure to tune in right there for day number 3 of the Overwatch League Pro-Am. Thank you, Lemon. Thank you, Danny. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good night.
Bye.